Everybody, welcome to Conscious Gaming. My name is Tricky Dick, and today we are going to be answering a burning question. Well, at least one question for me anyways. What we're going to do is we're going to be taking a look at two specific bonuses, okay? Ability damage and energy damage. Which one is better, if that's at all possible, which is better, and what's the difference between them, what do they affect, all these awesome questions. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so let's take a look at our hero. Regular old shotgunner grizzly, right? We're not going to use him. Right? Mess it up on YouTube. Alright, let's take a look. I'm going to slot Red Light Ramirez, and I'll tell you in a minute. Let's first go over what ability damage, the 20% ability damage actually covers. Okay? What does it actually cover? What does it mean by ability damage? Okay? Now, it seems like it's pretty much a no-brainer, right? An ability. Any ability you have. Whether it be shock tower, frag grenades, whatever ability a player has. Your shockwave, frag grenades, teddies, things like that. That's an ability, right? So it's a 20% buff to those abilities. Now what a lot of people do not know is that abilities, that 20% also covers gadgets. So your turret is covered by a 20% buff. Yes, it actually does work. I believe proximity mines might work, but they're buggy anyways. And your airstrike. Why, I don't know you would use that late game, but hey, some people like it. But that's an ability, it's covered under gadgets. Okay. Now what some people don't know it also affects. We go into stats right here. Alright. So we're going to scroll down, and we got the healing or hero healing modifier. Okay, healing hero modifier. Now if I go over here and I put on this enforcer, which is the same as Shuriken Master, the 20% ability buff. Bam. Okay, I go from 887 to 1081. Just like that. Hero healing modifier. So that 20% ability damage actually boosts that number. As well as obviously hero ability damage. See, 887, 1297. Okay, so you get that 20%. Now it's not an actual 20%, it really isn't. I even got different numbers, because when I first started, her ability damage was at 904. Now all of a sudden it's 887. I don't know what's up with that. But I'll tell you what, from 887 all the way to 1297 is that's not accurate. That's not 20%, folks. That is not 20%. Okay? Let's see. We'll even do the math, okay? What is it? Okay, 887. How do you get 20%? Well, times 0.2, right? That equals 177. So you take your 1, you take your 887 plus your 177, and that gives you 1064. Does that look like 1064 to you? No, it does not. That's 1297. So already the math is wonky. Keep up with me here, folks, okay? The math is going to be wonky throughout this whole test because that's just the way Epic runs it. Okay, I'm just I can't help you with the math part. I don't know why they do it the way they do. It says 20%. It's obviously not. But I'm just going to tell you what it affects, okay? So you got your hero damage. Okay, hero ability damage, which is a no-brainer. It says ability damage right there in the buff. But also, what a lot of people don't realize is hero healing modifier. That's another big one, okay? That goes up with the 20% ability damage, as well as turrets and other gadgets. That is what is affected. So you got those two that a lot of people might not know. Some people do. Hey, that's great. Some people don't. And again, the abilities, all abilities that every character has, it says right there, shockwave, frag grenade, okay? So, move on to this person, Fragment Flurry Jess, a reclaimer, any reclaimer, okay? I think there's only 2 in the game. But energy damage increase. Okay, so what does that affect? Well, any energy damaging skill. Okay, now what skills have energy based attacks? Okay, you have your shockwave, which is energy based attack. Okay, we'll check that out. See, dealing energy damage. So that's one. Your frag grenade actually does energy damage. Believe it or not, right? Kinetic overloads, energy damage. Plasma pulse, energy damage. Okay, your shock tower, that's energy damage. Okay, so any ability that has energy damage to it, it's going to affect. That's obvious. And again, if we go back here, it also affects your hero healing modifier. Okay, we go back to nothing here, right? And we go back to your hero healing modifier. If I can find it, there it is. It goes up. See, it shot up to 1073. From 887, 1073. We go down again. Ability damage, well look, it went up again. 1073, 887, 1073. Okay? So, the 20% energy damage also affects these two abilities. Not a lot of people know that. But I think the burning question more so is, you know, okay, you might say, hey, Tricky Dick, this is a no-brainer, man. Energy damage, duh. Affects energy-based skills. Makes sense, right? I'm just letting you guys know it affects these other two things as well. Hero healing modifier and your ability damage, okay? So both of these characters affect that. Not equally, obviously. You're going to get more from the 20% ability damage than you would from the 20% energy damage as far as hero ability damage goes. You can see it at the bottom. Okay, 1073 for the Reclaimer, 1297 for the I guess Blade Storm. I'd rather say the Shuriken Master, because most, well actually no, everyone has Blade Storm I guess if you bought them. If you didn't, buy them just for this. Okay, the ability damage is worth it. You're gonna get more out of that. Okay, so now I think more so to the question here is, does energy damage affect energy weapons? Okay, the answer, yes. Yes, it does. Any weapon you have that has energy damage on it, it affects it. Okay, it affects it. I ran into a match earlier today just to test it out, just to see if it did, and of course my numbers were all over the place because epic math, man. Alright, this is my long armor forces. This is pretty much what I main if I'm playing ranger or if I'm playing the shotgunner. Okay, yeah, not the best stats, hey, whatever, right? But I didn't go for a crit damage build. But anyway, beside the point. Energy damage, right? So I did an average, okay, I did 4 shots to test this out. Okay, my crit rate is 10%. Okay, so let's take all that in effect. But the average damage I did was 28,377. That's without the Reclaimer slotted. When I slotted the Reclaimer, it jumped up to 45,635. Okay, that was the average damage I did with the energy damage perk. Okay, that buff. So it's, I would say it's pretty safe to, well, it's safe to say it affects it. Okay, it does actually go up. Now, what do you lose when you do that? If you went for, you know, this ability damage, what do you lose if you went for Reclaimer? Well, for the life of me, I tried to look for what type of damage the turret does, and it says nothing, man. I went backward. I went back over to skill tree 2 when you first acquire it, and it doesn't tell you what kind of damage it does. So I've read that it does energy damage. I cannot confirm or deny that because I don't know. It does not say. It just says hover turret. Okay, there's no skill, and I have all of them, folks. Okay, I have them all. It doesn't say anything about it converting it to energy damage or anything to that effect. It's just energy damage. It's just damage, right? The explosion is just probably a physical explosion. I really don't notice it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't see it saying anything about energy damage. So I would just assume it's physical damage. But I do know that the ability damage buff affects it. The energy damage buff doesn't seem to do anything to it, so I don't think it actually works that way. So you lose out on the gadget buff as far as the 20% goes. But if you're not really worried about the okay, I shouldn't say it this way. If you're not really worried about your gadgets, then I would probably go with energy damage if you have energy weapons, because the ability damage buff does not affect your weapons in any way, shape, or form. It just affects your ability damage and the damage your abilities do. But as I mentioned before, you get the same thing. Like, this is nothing, right? 887. Even slotting the reclaimer in, it goes up dramatically to 1073. Okay, so it still affects your abilities, like your ability damage and your hero healing modifier. Okay, it still affects that. So the only thing you're really losing out on is the percentage difference between the two. Okay, they still say 20%, but again, epic math, man, I can't help you on that. Epic is what it is. So you're gonna have to check it out for yourself. If you happen to have reclaimer, then good on you, man, because you can check this out for yourself. If you don't, buy this guy and slot him just so you can get the buff. Okay, it won't affect your energy weapons, but it will affect everything else you do that has an energy damage component to it. Okay, unfortunately for people that main ninjas, the energy thing has nothing to do with you, because all their damage is either edged or some kind of physical damage. Okay, but this guy, ability damage affects you. Okay, so if you main a ninja and all you do is use a sword, unless it has energy on it, even if it does, don't care about this person, run this one, because your skills are going to be doing way more damage, okay, versus this, honestly. But if I'm going to run this, like I have the red line, if I'm going to run her, yeah, her abilities do energy damage, but I have shotguns that do energy damage, and I'm mostly shooting people more than I'm using my abilities. So I'd rather go for energy damage. So just to recap here, okay? Ability versus energy damage, which is better? Neither one is necessarily better than the other. Okay, it depends on what you want to do. They both buff your hero ability damage. You see the numbers changing right there from red to where I have currently to green. Okay, they both buff it. Ability damage buffs more than just your abilities, it buffs gadgets as well. Okay, energy damage does not. Energy damage affects your energy weapons, the ability damage does not. So if you are a person that focuses more on weaponry that has an energy component to it, keep in mind energy weapons, not nature or fire, no elemental. Okay, it doesn't work for any elemental weapons. It's just energy damage weapons. Okay, let me put that out there. So, but if you're a person that runs weapons that have energy damage component to them, and you want to buff, this energy damage buff is an overall good thing to have. Okay, it affects all energy weapons equally: shotguns, whatever you have, swords, rocket launchers, whatever, all together. So you don't need to specialize and go to like you know, the berserker and go for like 24% assault weapon damage. Okay, it's assault weapons. So if you run a shotgun like red line, I'm not going to get anything from that. But the energy damage, oh yes I will. And it's a dramatic difference as I show you the numbers. Right, as I stated before, 28,377 normal damage gets buffed to 25,635. Okay, these are averages, of course. Alright, so that's a huge bonus. Okay, so I just wanted to get this out there that, you know, yes, there is a difference. They both buff him hero ability damage, just one's less so than the other, and it just totally depends on your playstyle. If you're a person that likes to go abilities all the way, you're a ninja, or you like to chuck grenades with Master Grenade or whatever you want, dude, main this guy. Okay, and your squad support right there. Ability damage. Your abilities are going to do even more damage. That's just the way it is. You're gonna get more bang for your buck. Okay, but it doesn't affect your energy weapons. All right, I hope this clears up maybe some questions you have, or that you've been having, like, man, which is better? I have Reclaimer, and I got Shuriken Master, which is the original person that has the 20%. But people that don't have her, you can always buy this person just for the buff. So the person that had those questions was like, hey, yeah, which is better? I don't know. I hope this cleared up any questions you had about that. If you still need to know some things, feel free, leave in the comments below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. If you like this video, if it helped you at all, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. All right, leave a comment, man. Let me know. Okay, I'll make more videos like this if it helps folks out. I mean, I'm just answering questions I had myself, and I hope the rest of you have the same. All right, so man, have a great night or what have you. Stay frosty, stay woke, people. All right, see ya.